So earlier today, I had some free time, it's my weekend, and I got the chance to do some art. And I originally started my YouTube channel and the Epic Place around art, because art used to be my big focus. Like in life, it was my hobby, it was also my escape. Returned to art recently. It's one of those things that I've been spent so much time focusing on school and my career and my work and my healing that I haven't had the time to do something that's just a passion. But I have, I've made space here and there, and I wanted to share on the channel, as I've had more space in the last year or so, what I have been working on. A year after leaving my environment, I published a poetry collection called 1 Year with a Fallen Angel. And, because I fell from grace from leaving my Christian environment. And then the second year after that, I write poetry to process my feelings quite a lot. And so I compiled another poetry collection, and it's called 1 Year on Borrowed Wings. And this is the second poetry collection in that series. It's poems from the second year after I left my cult, and the blurb on the back, I'll just read it to you. A love letter to the art of building a person. This poetry collection follows one young adult through the struggle of self-creation after the loss of their childhood faith. And I love these because I really write these poems in this place of non-judgment. Like this poetry became a place where I could just write anything. Like when I wasn't understanding my experience, when I had overwhelming feelings and I needed to write them out, it was a place where I could express without affecting anyone else and fear of judgment and having to make sense of my feelings. And so I did. And then looking back at it, things seem a lot clearer now that I understand more about mental health and physical health and distortions and things. But even beyond that, these are still just raw expression. And it's healing to write, and then my hope is that it's healing for someone to read who is exiting a restrictive environment and learning to stand on their own 2 feet. I'm going to read, let's see, which one do I want to read? Bound and Gagged. My jaw is sore from my own grasp. I cry against your chest, wishing you would grasp it in your tiny metal fist. My mind, the real tormentor, the unconsensual dawn. It holds my mouth closed tightly as you offer to come along. I'd love that. I need that. I'm crying. Please begin. My jaw is sore but silent. Last night I gagged it tight. With a pillowcase tied hand and foot, and I fucked myself all night. I called for her through muffled sheets, but gagged I couldn't win. Tonight my mind, it calls for you, but lips won't let you in. I want your fists, your razor teeth, to slice me black and red. I want your bloody passion pounding drunken in my head. Your touch, your bite is heaven, sunshine to my fluorescent. But I can't have it. I won't say it. I cry, I plead, confess my weakness, my unworthiness, bound too tight to undress. She's tried for years. I push her off. They tried tonight, today. Instead, my jaw is sore as fuck from pants that bound it tight. I had to hurt myself since I'm not good enough to fight. All they need is yes, but I'm too afraid to give it. I gasp for pain and torture, gasp to feel their touch so livid, gasp for poison medicine, tired from faked chalk. As little as the real thing, as popsicle to cock. I think that last line is funny. But that was I like the rest of that poem. I'll read the next one. A lot of these aren't even poems to some degree. They're very raw, right, expressions. His stutter. Why am I so turned on by weak and powerful people? The more tears I see you sob and cry, the more I want to kiss them dry. The more you're hot, the more you're strong. The more I want to prove you wrong. One makes me feel so big and tall. One lifts me up when I feel small. I like to break inside strong arms. I like to crush your fragile lungs. I reason out, but none of that matters. I feel it in my gut, which offers no answers. Oh, small child. I'm not going to read the rest of them, but well, actually, I'll read this one. Bad feminist. Blue cars make me think of you. My girlfriend noticed I want to be you. A picture of you makes my heart race. But I'm so glad you're not in this place. I wear your shoes. You make me feel. More than them. Was it all my fault? When it feels bad, it's bad. Doesn't matter why it happened. But when I still fantasize, when you still kill me with your eyes, I wish I could say I shouldn't have walked away, but I couldn't live without the sexiest man I've ever met. But I never met the man inside, and he never met mine. You should be fought in the war on drugs, because the ecstasy of your nearness is literally better than meth, and it turns me stupid. I hate that I don't live in a world where I can be with you, but the next best thing is to be you. The last poem is a lot more cheerful than some of those others. They're very intense, right? They're very healing to read, I think, because it is that non-judgmental witness. So if you're at all interested in 1 Year on Borrowed Wings or 1 Year with a Fallen Angel, or in pre-ordering the next one, which is 1 Year in Eden, then comment down below or message me. I would love to share that with you. The thing that made me want to share my art with you tonight is actually because I've been working on this. Let me know if you want to hear more of my poetry, because I have a lot of poetic audio messages that I've recorded, and my art is there, and I could easily put it up here with a black screen if you wanted to see that. But anyway, I wanted to share with you what made me think of sharing with you tonight was because I was working on my comic strip, which I'm actually about to make into a zine and at least give it to Monkey Wrench Books. But it's a queer comic. It's called Shots, and the subtitle is Your Microdose of Queer Austin. So it's semi-autobiographical, and it's comedic, and it's moments from queer life, moments from witchy life, and it's these characters navigating, specifically this one trans boy, navigating life in Austin after moving out of his family home. It's suggested mildly throughout that their home was extremely restrictive and extremely conservative. So I want to show you some of that before I show you some of the more edgy paintings or sketches that I've been doing lately. Yeah, this is a really good example of the art style. It's really cartoony. Here they're having a conversation about why Riley, who's the main character, has mommy issues. And I think it's really funny. And then this next one here is about how he keeps regressing into like girliness whenever he's talking to a strange man on the which is a real trans boy thing. And so he gets some brotherly advice from his trans male, presumably trans male, we don't know Ashley / Andrew's true sex at birth, but this person gives him some advice and coaches him through being a man, including this is one of my favorites. He's trying to coach him how to be a man and like be less kind to people and demand things and stop being shy and fawning. And so in this picture here, he's getting him hyped up to talk on the phone to the pharmacy and talk like a man. And he goes, hair, boobs, meat, sitting with your legs too far apart, explaining menstruation to a woman. Are you ready? And as you see, Riley is not 100% sure that he's ready. Yeah, it's a little of a genre switch from what I was just reading. And then one of my favorites that is like Riley meeting this cis ? The token cis character, Sean, who keeps making references to being a sissy. Good stuff. But yeah, I was working on that some today, specifically a section where I was writing about Riley's first time in this coven. Other than that, last year during October, a lot of people do something called Inktober, where they do a lot of a drawing a day in October. And I was really having a lot of inspiration to draw during that time period, so I kind of ended up doing a lot of art. You can kind of see it's this presumably smaller NB person with a harness around them being held in a very sweet but dominant way by this masculine presenting person. I really kind of want to highlight their expression. It's because it's like, that is really, to me, the expression of the feeling of dropping into subspace with a talented and caring space holder. This little soft boy in a little skirt. Soft boy slash NB. Lighting isn't the best for these. The other project that I was working on, been working on for the last year, since last Lunasa, actually, because Lunasa is the Wiccan festival associated with creativity. And during that festival last year, my friend Christy commissioned me to create a queer-focused tarot deck. And so I've been working on that for quite a while. That's the Fool, the gay cowboy. We have the Magician, sporty queer. Here you have the High Priestess. I'm really focusing with these. I wanted to kind of capture all the different ways that you can be queer, and including like I wanted to capture many types of queer people and queer culture as I have experienced it, and as I see other people experiencing it. The Hierophant, one of my favorites, is inspired by someone that I've actually met who was an assistant pastor. However, this person has symbols from all of the different religions on their, what's that called? The thing that you wear over your shoulders, including on the one side, masculine, feminine, and non-binary symbol. The Lovers is, of course, two spicy females looking very gay. For the Chariot, one of my favorites, skating is gay culture. Let me show you just a few more. Oh, I have to show you this one, the Hermit. The Hermit. You're nerdy queer. We've got the Hanged Man, of course. And these are, of course, all going to get colors, so it will be quite a while before they are ready to be purchased, which is why anything you're able to do to help support would be amazing. Pre-ordering included. The deck is $80, and depending on how far away you are, if you're in Austin, I can just give it to you, but if you're somewhere else, that would include shipping. I mean, that wouldn't include shipping. Bonus points if you know who this is. It is a true historical figure, and it is a two-spirit person, because the sun often represents masculinity and the moon often represents femininity. I wanted to do a person in between for the star, and I'm trying to do multiple cultures in this. The moon, cottagecore girl, tanning by the light of the moon, and the sun is just your flow juggler circus boy. So many trans boys that I know like that. Let me see if there's anything else that I want to show you. Ace of Cups is the last one that I'll show you. That one's pretty nice. I think the thing that I'm most looking forward to releasing out is the Queer Tarot deck, because I've spent a lot of time making that art more, like fine-tuning it and making it, being really mindful with how I am engaging with the material, and just spending a lot of time on it and allowing myself to really try to seek the divine and make sure that it is good. So if you're interested in that as a product at any point, feel free to message me about pre-ordering it. If you're interested in either the cards, the tarot deck, or sponsoring my next poetry book, or the queer zine, like that's pretty fun, then let me know. Yeah, it's been really nice recently to drop back into the art space. I think it's just the space that feels really comfortable for me, because that's where I found that's where I used to find a lot of my tapping into my authentic truth. It was my way to self-express, and it was my way to kind of have dominion over something, like have autonomy and have a say over something. And when I'm creating it, it's always still something that I go to when I'm most disoriented in my system, because from what I've heard from Brene Brown, when you're creating, you cannot be anxious because your mind is fixed in the present moment. So I hope that you also have space today for creativity and dropping in some way, even if it seems like what you're doing has nothing to do with anything. Thank you for witnessing me, and I hope that whatever you're working on right now is going super well. I hope that you take some deep breaths and that you remember to seek your inner guidance system, the goddess or the god or however they show up for you, and tap into your body and listen deeply to what it needs, and remember that you have the right to feel good, and taking care of your own body is taking care of your community, and it will come back to you. All right, I love you.